Comments regarding the PKK made by the Foreign Minister of new NATO member Sweden heighten concern over the Swedish government's compliance with Turkey's anti-Kurdish demands. Turkey intensifies efforts to launch a broader military offensive against Kurdish groups in Iraqi Kurdistan, signalling a renewed determination to bolster its military presence in the region. Turkey's arms exports surged by 106% between 2019 and 2023, positioning it as the world's 11th top arms exporter. In other news, Turkey expropriates swathes of fertile agricultural land in Muğla province for open-pit mining, despite protests by environmentalists. Learn more with Media News. Recent remarks made by Swedish Foreign Minister Tobias Billström, drawing a controversial line between his country's Kurdish community and the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, have raised eyebrows regarding the criteria for distinguishing between political activism and terrorism. Billström stated, "Every Kurd can, of course, feel safe, but only those who deal with the PKK have a reason to feel unsafe." Well-known support for the PKK within Sweden's Kurdish community raises critical questions about the basis on which individuals will be deemed a security threat. Billström's comments on the PKK have heightened concern among the Kurdish community and Swedish human rights advocates over the extent of the Swedish government's willingness to comply with Turkish demands, a debate that has influenced discussions surrounding Sweden's admission to NATO, which has been marked by Turkey's anti-Kurdish demands. On a related note, Billström emphasised that while NATO troops will operate in Sweden, the country will not host permanent NATO bases. Turkey's intensified efforts to launch new and wider cross-border military offensives against Kurdish groups indicate a renewed determination to further increase its military presence in Iraqi Kurdistan. Recently, there's been an acceleration of political, military and diplomatic initiatives by Turkish officials for the expansion of their operations against the Kurdistan Workers' Party, or PKK, in Iraq. Turkish Defence Minister Yaşar Güleş said on Monday that with the concerted military action, quote, "terrorism will not be an issue for Turkey." These statements echoed President Erdogan, who last week outlined the creation of a 30 to 40 kilometre security corridor along the borders with Iraq and Syria, as a measure to eradicate the PKK presence. In recent years, Turkey has carried out several military operations in northern Iraq, targeting PKK militants and their bases. As the Kurdish question is not confined to Iraq and Turkey, but extends to other countries in the region, including Syria and Iran, any escalation of conflict in one area is likely to have a ripple effect throughout the region. In addition to ground operations, Turkey frequently organises airstrikes. Turkish forces carried out 6,000 airstrikes in Syria and Iraq between the beginning of 2018 and June 2023. Turkey's arms exports have soared by 106% from 2019 to 2023 compared to the previous 5 years, making it the world's 11th largest arms exporter, as reported by the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. This significant increase has seen Turkey surpassing several countries in the global arms export rankings. The report indicates that Turkey has been involved in arms exports to various regions, including sub-Saharan Africa, where it was noted as the fourth largest supplier. The report further highlights that Turkey's primary arms export destinations include the United Arab Emirates, Qatar and Pakistan, accounting for 15%, 13% and 11% of its total arms exports respectively. Turkish drone exports to Ethiopia have significantly influenced the conflict in the Tigray region. A Turkish drone was used in an assault on the 7th of January 2022 that resulted in the death of 58 civilians at a school. This incident has drawn significant attention and criticism towards Turkey's drone exports to Ethiopia, especially concerning their use in the country's ongoing conflict. Conversely, Turkey's arms imports have decreased by 29% compared to the 2014 to 2018 period, ranking it as 17th largest arms importer globally. The main countries supplying arms to Turkey are Spain, Italy and Russia. Turkish President Erdogan sanctioned an official decree on Tuesday for the swift expropriation of 190 parcels of fertile agricultural land in the expansion of Mula Province's controversial lignite coal mine, which entered the limelight last year after swathes of nature-rich Akbaland forest were flattened by government-backed developers. The project is linked to a thermal power plant partially operated by Limak Holding, a member of the Gang of Five, a group of conglomerates accused of profiteering, leveraging close ties with President Erdogan's administration. Deforestation of the designated area earmarked for expanded mining operations began in July, sparking fierce resistance from the local community and environmentalists. A lawsuit filed by the protesters aimed to revoke the developer's licence, but the proceedings were recently dismissed by the court. Conservation regulations have failed to protect the site, home to 40,000 olive trees, as industrial development accelerates unabated in rural areas of the country. The escalation of mining activities, including dynamite blasting in proximity to extensive olive groves, starkly contrasts with the country's olive cultivation law.